The movie business doesn't have many big names that shocked everyone with just one part. The name Sandahl Bergman was one of them. She may also be known to you as Valeria from Conan the Barbarian. When this action movie came out in 1982, her part made her a star right away. To answer your question, it was because of how she looked on screen. In this part, as a female warrior, Bergman got a cult following. She played it with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the famous bodybuilder and movie star. After this, Arnold made more big hits, such as Predator, The Terminator, and Commando. On the other hand, his co-star Sandahl almost vanished soon after giving such a famous performance in Conan the Barbarian that it became known all over the world. But where did Sandahl go? Also, why did she just disappear? Hold on tight as we talk about why Sandahl Bergman wasn't in any movies after Conan the Barbarian. He was born in Kansas City, Missouri, on November 14, 1951, to Justice Bergman and Frances Bergman. She was the oldest of 3 children. In the end, she graduated from Shawnee Mission East High School. Sandahl loved dance and theater as a child, and that was clear from the start. Putting her in dance classes was a great idea on her parents' part. This took place when she was only 5 years old. Sandahl was a physical thing. She had a great athletic body and was 6 feet tall. We think that's also why she got most of her fans. It was clear that she loved to dance. She danced all kinds of styles, like ballet, tap and jazz, and was very good at them all. Her love for and skill at the art form only grew with age. By the time she was a teenager, she was acting in local theaters. Sandahl told Mark J. Gross in an interview that she began working professionally when she was only 14. At age 14, she got her equity union card. If you have this card, it means you work as a skilled actor or actress in the theater business. That means Sandahl has been able to work on equity shows since she was 14 years old. But when she moved to New York, things got really bad for her. At that time, New York was the center of the performing arts, so it makes sense that Sandahl chose that city. Her first few years in New York were hard and full of problems. Professional singer for her, when she went to New York and rented out her apartment to someone else, because they were both in high demand at the time. One guy was interested in this, and it's what made Sandahl so famous today. Conan the Barbarian, the director of the movie, saw her appear in All That Jazz and thought she was great. He hired her right away to play Valeria. For many people, Conan the Barbarian was one of the most famous movies of the 1980s. And this famous movie gave us Valeria, another famous character. For Sandahl, getting the part of Valeria, a fierce and beautiful fighter, was a big deal. Sandahl Bergman was the perfect choice to play that role because she had the perfect mix of beauty and toughness. She was a great pick. John Milius, who directed the movie, looked forward to seeing her bring the role to life. And she did. But it wasn't easy at all to make the figure a hit. Sandahl had to go through a lot of tough training. She says that she had to learn kendo, a form of martial arts, where you fight with bamboo swords. Sandahl, on the other hand, had real swords. That's right, real knives. There's no doubt that it was dangerous. She almost cut off her finger at one point. This can show you how serious and committed she was to her job and the part she played. Even though they were dangerous, because she didn't have an acting double, she also had to learn how to fight. It was clear because she was very tall and fit, and no acting double could have those qualities. There are a lot of famous scenes in Conan the Barbarian, and they weren't easy to film. The movie was shot in rough places all over Spain, from Almeria to Seville. Filming the fight scenes was especially difficult. It was hard on both the body and the mind. The Tower of Serpents scene, which is very well known, was the hardest part. She had to fight, climb, and do many other hard things for her body. Even with all of these risks, Sandahl did a great job with those scenes. It's clear that our character was strong and brave. Bergman had never done a scene with a close friend or family member before. It must have been awkward, but Bergman did a great job with it too. Even though these problems were clear, there were also good times. She got along well with her co-star Arnold during the shoot. They had fun on and off the set. Bergman talks about the fun things they did between takes and what it was like to work with 7 Mr. Olympias. At the end of this movie, things went pretty well for Sandahl. She won the Golden Globe after that, and the attention she got was better than any award. The movie's success put her in the public eye, and she became a world star with a huge following. Valeria is still the part that all actresses who play female warriors or action heroes try to reach. Overall, this movie showed how committed she was to her work, and how hard she worked to finish the project. What a lady! The big surprise, though, was when Sandahl almost vanished after this huge win. What did she do after Conan the Barbarian? Let's find out. Bergman went on to play 22 movies and 13 TV shows after she was great as Valeria. But none of those movies did as well as Conan the Barbarian. That was the height of Sandahl's fame. He never had that much fame again. Still, she was a well-known and recognized name in the business. In the 1980s, action and adventure movies were popular, so Sandahl kept showing up in them. Queen Gedrin in the movie Red Sonja was a well-known part. This was very different from Extreme because she played the bad guy this time. She also did a great job. Think about how flexible she was as an actress. She was great at both action and romance, as well as playing both good guys and bad guys. Bergman was really one of a kind. Let's talk more about Red Sonja. Bergman had done something very important in her life. Sandahl was first given the part of the heroine, but she chose to play a villain instead, because she wanted to try something new and show off her acting skills. Queen Gedrin, the bad guy, was not like most bad guys. A lot of makeup and a special outfit were needed for the part. Bergman had to spend a lot of time in the costume shop, making sure that her clothes were right for the action scene she was in. Another tough part was the hat. She had to wear a lot of accessories and stay in them for a long time. It became even harder because of that. When we talk about problems, makeup was the worst. To look like the real Queen Gedrin, she had to practice for hours on end, but she finally got it right. Besides Red Sonja, she was also in the 1988 science fiction movie Hell Comes to Frogtown. The famous wrestler Roddy Piper was also in this movie. Bergman played Spangle, a government spy. Sandahl was also in movies like Bring on the Night and Deadly Heat. Even though these movies weren't huge hits, they did confirm Sandahl's place as one of the best action heroines. We saw Bergman in more than just movies. She was in a lot of TV shows, like Freddy's Nightmare and Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing made it possible for Sandahl to show up in horror movies. People were once again amazed by her acting skills when she played a character trapped in a house with a ghost in Freddy's Nightmare. She got to show the darker and more suspenseful side of her performance. When Bergman played the singing detective in the movie with Robert Downey Jr., that was the last time we saw her. Now picture this. A 52-year-old woman enchanting the crowd with her beauty. Sandahl is the only one who can do that. At age 52, she made a lot of people gasp. She played a part in the movie The Singing Detective, with Robert Downey Jr. as Sandahl Bergman. Think about this charm. On screen, only Sandahl Bergman can do that. You must be interested in what she did after leaving the movies and what she is doing now. Sandahl has been able to keep his life very quiet, and Sandahl does his fair share of romance, which became known as the Hogan family. What we know didn't last long, is that it became known as the Hogan family. That didn't last long. I also wrote had. She was said to be dating. She deserved an award for her selfless actions, and she got one. In 1995, the prestigious Angel Award was given to Sandahl Bergman. This is for people who have done a lot for the neighborhood. She earned this for all the hard work she put in. Women who want to be heroes should look up to Sandahl, both as an actress and as a person. She shows that being famous isn't all about money and fame. We think that this part of her deserves just as much praise as her successful job. What does Sandahl do with her life now? We don't know much about her. Aside from award shows and interviews, she doesn't get involved in a lot of trouble. She does, however, go to sci-fi conventions from time to time and hang out with her friends. She was seen at San Diego Comic-Con and Houston Space City Con not long ago. One might think she's a figure from the 1980s, and it's not likely that people today like her. It's not true. Such an important figure in Sandahl's life that she still has fans, and she loves talking to them. She talks about a time when her tire went flat. She had been out too long after leaving the movies. When Sandahl's tire went flat, she called her sister, who came and picked her up. After that, she called the tech and told her about her car and herself. He didn't believe her and scolded Bergman because he thought she was playing a joke on him. He didn't believe her until he saw her register, which shocked him. He liked them a lot. And the next day, Sandahl went to his garage to get her car. There were these pictures on the wall. People from the mechanic's family played parts from Sandahl's movie Conan the Barbarian. That made Sandahl very happy, and she had a great time with her friend. Through what she says, we can tell that she is humble around her friends, and feels thankful for them. Sandy is a unique person, her acting was great, and no one else could match the movie presence our heroine has. That teaches us all a lot. We learn from her that if you work hard at your skill, it will reward you in many ways. We'll see you in the next movie. Leave a comment with your favorite Sandahl Bergman scene from any movie. Until then, thanks for seeing it.